What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Viva Los Bills. I'm your host, Buffalo Will. We're just plain old Will. What's going on? Today, I'm flying solo. Well, for most of the part, Vinny might hop on a little later, but as of right now, I'm solo. So the show must go on as always. Hey to all the viewers on Zingo TV and channel 199, what's up? My viewers on Blackjack TV, anybody on Facebook, our Facebook group page, Viva Los Bills, my page, anywhere watching, what's up, guys? Leave your questions, comments. As always, we'll have fun. We'll talk about a little bit of everything around the NFL, and as always, our Buffalo Bills news. On that note, let's start off like we always do. Let me come down here, grab my little handy dandy cooler. We usually share a beer between Vinny and I, do a little cheers, but he's not here right now. Let me see something. Hold on, we're going to do this. There's Vinny. There's Vinny. Vinny is with us in spirit. He's driving his truck, hopefully safely, trying to get home. If he gets home early enough, he'll hop on the show. So hopefully we'll see him at some point. But as of right now, it's just you and me. Comment to help because it makes it a little easy. But anyway, we're gonna start off with my brew, a little cheers. But this is my current mood. What? Current mood. I saw it and I was like, I gotta get that beer. Current mood looks pretty cool. The face. It's kind of how my face is with some of the news I'm hearing around the league. We'll get to that sooner than later. It's a New Jersey craft brew, 902 Brewing Company, I guess. What is this? 6% alcohol, 1 pint can, comes in a 4-pack, kind of pricey. But being that I'm running out of the local beers there, I said, let me try it anyway. And I saw it says current mood. I liked it. I was like, well, hey, why not? It's a hazy Indian pale ale with raspberry and black currant. All right, sounds a little fruity. Let's see how it is. To all the Bills fans, Bills Mafia, Bills Nation, Viva Los Bills fans. What's up? Cheers to you guys. Let's see how this is. First sip, not bad. Not bad. Second sip, it's okay. Actually, it's not bad. It's not too fruity. It's not too hoppy. Maybe a 3 out of 5, possibly 3.5. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. Goes down smooth. Let's see how it goes during the show. All right. So we touched base about, well, we didn't touch base yet, but I said about current news that just popped up. Some of the news that came out. I guess we'll start the show with the biggest news out there. And you can see it in the Crow. NFL informs clubs that COVID-19 outbreaks amongst unvaccinated players could lead to forfeiting games. Now, we're going to touch on some of these, but it's like a little iffy already that this is how they're starting it off, mainly for unvaccinated players. They don't want to add a 19th week, which is known because we have 18 weeks this year. They added on the extra week, and they're saying they're not adding on another week just because of COVID, which is understandable. Fine. The practice squads are bigger, which is good. Gives us a few players just in case somebody does get sick. They still could reschedule games, but they're saying if it's due to an outbreak by an unvaccinated player, they're not really going to reschedule and you can lose out. Anyway, let's go over here. Like I said, we do not anticipate adding a 19th week to accommodate games that cannot be rescheduled within the current 18 weeks of the regular schedule. There's that. Now let's move on. If a game is canceled, postponed because of a club cannot play due to a COVID spike among or resulting from its non-vaccinated players or staff, then the burden of the cancellation or delay will fall on the club experiencing the COVID infection. That's what the memo states. Now, we will seek to minimize the burden on the opposing club or clubs if a club cannot play due to COVID spikes in vaccinated individuals. We will attempt to minimize the competitive and economic burden on both participating teams. Now, let's go over here. Like I said, CAM's progress of vaccination has increased. More than 78% of the players league-wide have at least one shot, and 14 clubs have at least 85% players vaccinated. Again, it's only 14 clubs with 85%. Palazero reported that 32 teams have at least 50% vaccination rate amongst players. They're still not happy with these. So here we go. According to Thursday's memo, meaning today's memo, vaccinated players or staff who tested positive are asymptomatic can return to duty after two negative 24 hours apart. For non-vaccinated persons who test positive, the 2020 protocol remains in place, requiring a 10-day isolation. So if you're vaccinated and you have COVID, you only have to stay away for 24 hours. But you still have COVID, but you're vaccinated. The other players, non-vaccinated, have to stay away from 10 till they test negative. It's kind of iffy. If a player with COVID, the vaccination has COVID, he still could spread it. The same as an unvaccinated player. So why is he only gone for 24 hours? Let's move on. I'm going to jump over here. Let's just jump to some of these. Where was it? I know it's a little spread out. My printer ran out of paper at one point, so my stuff's mixed up. If an unvaccinated person tests positive, the protocols, like I said, will stay in effect 10 days and will be then permitted to return to duty if asymptomatic. Unvaccinated individuals will continue to subject a 5-day quarantine period if they have close contacts with an infected individual. So if they go by somebody who's infected, they have to isolate for 5 days. A vaccinated person, if they're around somebody who's infected, does not have to quarantine. Still could catch it and pass it, but he doesn't have to quarantine. Persons who had a previous COVID infection will be considered fully vaccinated 14 days after they have at least one dose. So if you get the dose, then you're considered fully vaccinated even though you didn't get the second one. Even though you have the antibodies running through your system and you shouldn't have to get it, but they're saying you get it. Oh, man. Anyway, it goes on. Like, you can lose if your team is infected by an unvaccinated person. You could lose actually a playoff game. But if the person was vaccinated and is sick, you won't lose it because he was vaccinated. There's a lot of double standard stuff going on here. If you guys want to put some comments, let me know how you feel about it. But I think it's a bunch of craziness. I get it. If it was a cure and you chose not to get the vaccine, I get it. Then people could be like, hey, this guy's not getting the vaccine. What the hell? You're putting everybody in danger. But it's an experimental vaccine. It's not even a cure. And they're forcing these guys to get it. Well, they're not forcing them, but all the rules are putting them into that way, force them to get this vaccine. And if you're sick with COVID and you're vaccinated, it's not as bad, which makes no sense because again, you still could get COVID, you still could pass COVID, you still could die from COVID. They say your percentage is less than that of an unvaccinated person. So it's still up in the air. But it's like everybody who's not vaccinated is getting whacked the hardest, and they're forcing the teams pretty much to push their players to get it. This is supposed to be America. You have freedom of choice. If you want to get the vaccine, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Again, it's not the cure. That's what's driving me crazy. You're in the same boat if you have it, if you don't. The only supposed real thing is you shouldn't die if you get COVID and you have the vaccine. You have a greater risk of dying if you don't have the vaccine. That's the rumor. That's what they say. So to this in the NFL, please stop it. But anyway, we know, and we'll talk about it a little later. Cole Beasley is going to probably have something to say, and there's other players around the league already chiming on this. Another wide receiver, DeAndre Hopkins, said, if I'm forced to get it, I don't know if I'll keep playing. One of the biggest stars and one of the best wide receivers in the league is saying this. On a sadder note, longtime NFL assistant coach Greg Knapp dies following a bicycling accident. Longtime NFL assistant coach Greg Knapp, who was hired this offseason as the Jets passing game coordinator, passed away Thursday as a result of injuries sustained in a bicycling accident that occurred, I believe, while he was home in California. Sorry to hear that. Not good news. Now, my condolences to his family and Jets team and all his loved ones. Condolences. Some bad news. The Rams took a big hit today. Cam Akers has suffered a torn Achilles while training on his own, per source. It happens to happen just a week before training camp. So the Rams are going to be out looking for a running back to replace Akers. Listen, that hurt them last year during the playoffs and towards the end of the season. Akers was their workhorse. So let's see who they go after next. Probably somebody who's a free agent out there. You still got Todd Gurley. Maybe they'll have a reunion over there. There's some good backs out there. And why not look for a trade? Hey, do that too. Or wait till people get cut. But I don't think you want to go into camp down your main running back and waiting for somebody to get cut. But there you go. Another topic here. San Fran has made linebacker Fred Warner the highest paid inside linebacker in the NFL. He got a 5-year deal worth $95 million, 40.5 guaranteed. It's averaging around $19 million a year. My question is, so now he's the top 5 inside linebackers, the highest paid. Fred, he's number 1. Bobby Wagner's ranks second at $18 million. CJ Mosley, who took a whole year off, he's making $17 million. You got Zach, and write down his name. He's making 14.5, and Miles Jack is making $14 million a year. My question, if Vinny was here, hold on, where's little Vinny? We're gonna have to find it. Hey, little Vinny, why are they going to pay Tremaine Edmonds? Tremaine Edmonds, the kid's young. This is his 5th year. They picked up his option. He's one of the top linebackers in the league, I think. He's young. This guy, to me, is going to end up being one of the top 5 highest paid inside linebackers. Now, will he get $19 million? I don't know. It depends on what kind of season he's going to have this year. I think he needs to improve in his pass coverage. Run stopping, the guy's a beast. He usually has over 100 tackles every year. He's a force to be reckoned with. And he's young and he's still learning. And he holds down that middle. This year they ran a lot of nickel. And, I think they should run more of a 4-3. If they do that, he's sitting in there in the middle by himself. And he holds it down. He keeps it locked down. If anything, maybe move to a 3-4, do a little more hybrid stuff. Why not? I think Tremaine Edmonds next year, or at the end of this year, or probably during the year, will probably make anywhere from 16. I don't think he's going to top 19, but I think if you go in there with, say, maybe 15.5 or $16 million a year, I think to get the job done. I hope the Bills pay him. It'd be nice if he takes a little discount for the Bills, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen. So we'll see what happens there. Now, again, let's move on. Steelers, linebacker. This is for Bobby over there, Big Bobby Blackjack. I don't know where he is. Probably running some other show right now. Steelers linebacker Vince Williams announces his retirement. He played 8 years at Pitt, starting 69 games in the middle of their D, held down that middle. So now, if you're a Steelers fan, you're scratching your head. Listen, Steelers have a very good defense. Steven Nelson's got, he's a free agent. Williams is announcing his retirement. Their whole offensive line is going to be all new guys this year. They either got their old staff either got cut due to casualties or they were free agents. They have a whole fresh offensive line. Now they're losing players on defense. I don't know what to expect from the Steelers this year. Some people already have them winning that division. The way it's going, I don't think they're going to win the division. You know, Big Ben, he's a little long in the tooth. I thought he should have called it a career this year, but he's coming back for at least one more. I mean, I have them possibly second or third. I don't think they're going to win that division, but that will be another show for another time. Now, I was watching NFL Network today. I saw Jerry Jones crying about his football team, trying to push for another Super Bowl. He loves his team as well, wants to get to a Super Bowl, and that's great. Listen, the lucky Coach McCarthy said today Dak should be 100% for camp after his ankle surgery last year that took him out, I believe it was week 5. So the Cowboys, listen, they have no excuse. Yeah, we're going to have Dak back. Let's see what Ezekiel Elliott could do this year. They have young wide receivers. They actually have good wide receivers over there. Last year's problem to me was their defense. Now, have they gone and done enough for their defense to be back contenders to win the division? Actually, they're pretty much the favorites to win the division. I don't think they should be, but a lot of people have them. So let's see what happens. They have no excuses. Jerry Jones almost crying on TV for his team. Just to you, Jerry. Come on, man. No crying in football. Now, per Dan Graziano of ESPN, he believes Lamar Jackson could get anywhere from $40 to $45 million a year. If he gets $45 million a year, he'll be tied with Patrick Mahomes. Now, if he hits 40, he's going to be tied with Dak Prescott. Those are the top 2 paid quarterbacks in the league as of right now. Top 5, Patrick Mahomes with $45 million, Dak Prescott with $40 million, Deshaun Watson $39 million, Russell Wilson $35 million, and tied for 5th, Aaron Rodgers and Jared Goff both are making $33.5 million. Now I'm looking at this. Listen, I like Lamar Jackson. He's young. He's still learning. But should he be top 2 paid quarterback or possibly tied for the top paid? I don't think so. I mean, honestly, okay, he won the MVP 2 years ago. He has won. I don't know. Did he win? I don't think he's even won a playoff game yet. And if he did, maybe one. So how are you going to put him in the top 2? Listen, Dak got $40 million. He hasn't done anything special. He hasn't won any Super Bowls or anything. So to put him up in 40, 45 million, it's a tough pill to swallow. But if you're looking, listen, at least Deshaun Watson's making $39 million. He's won a few playoff games, or at least one playoff game. I don't know. It's a tough pill to swallow, especially if you haven't won a Super Bowl. But the pay rates for these quarterbacks nowadays are through the roof. And if they pay him $40 to $45 million, what's Josh Allen going to end up getting? He hasn't won the MVP, but he was a second last year to Aaron Rodgers for the MVP, and I believe he should have won it last year. And the kid continues to grow. He's won his playoff game finally. Let's see what he does this year. They should be in the playoffs with the squad they have, offensive-wise and defensive-wise. So he's going to command the payroll up there. So if Jackson gets 40 to 45, I think Allen's going to end up getting around the same thing or more. But only time will tell. Moving on. 21 NFL teams will hold joint practices, but the Bills will not be one of them. Usually I like it. I like when they practice with other squads. But as long as they're one thing I don't like when they practice with other squads, when they practice teams that they're playing that year. I think it doesn't make sense. I don't like it because you're previewing the team you're going to play. Never liked that, and a lot of teams do it. I believe New England's doing it this year. I believe Cleveland's doing it with some other teams this year. To me, it makes no sense. Don't do it. Now, I'm wondering if the Bills and the other, 12 teams in the league, 11 teams in the league, aren't holding joint practices due to COVID and the restrictions. That might be a reason these guys aren't out there practicing with other teams. Makes sense to me. I would like it because you know what? When you practice other people, you're going to go a little bit harder. You're not going to hit your teammates as hard unless you're one of the rookies or these free agents trying to get a spot on the squad. Most of your main guys, they're not going to be trying to kill your other players. So, not saying you need to go out there and kill the other team's players, but you're going to play harder. You're going to put in more work, and I like it. But again, I think it's probably due to COVID that the Bills aren't doing it. Because I believe they've done it the last few years. They haven't had issues. Now, the Bills also open camp like other people in less than a week. Their first camp opens next week, Wednesday, July 28th at 10 a.m. So I want to see if Vinny was here or if anybody's out there on listening. Hey, what competitions are you looking for? If you want to put a comment up there. Personally, I'm looking at the running back competition. But honestly, I think Moss might have the edge there. Question is second string. Is it going to be more Singletary or is it going to be more Matt Breida? And is the dark horse Antonio Williams going to creep into the top three running back slots? It's a thing to look forward to. Another thing is DN. Jerry Hughes is a little older. He's on his last year. Mario Addison's on his last year. You have these two new rookies coming in. You have AJ Epinesa coming in. Last year, I liked what they did with a lot of rotation between the players. So that's something to look forward to there. Personally, I want to see also a defensive tackle who's going to step up, who's going to take that next step. Is Ed Oliver going to solidify his spot at defensive tackle? Star Latulier, Vernon Butler Jr. Who's going to step up? Phillips. Who wants it? And the big thing is they got to stop the run. We couldn't stop the run last year. So I want to see that. Another part, maybe corner opposing from White. Who's going to step up? Is Levi going to hold on to his spot? Is Jackson going to take his spot? Little things to look forward to for the competitive aspect of the Buffalo Bills. Want to see it. Now, some sad news again. Sorry, we got a lot of sad news on the show today. Jim Schaffner dies at 85. Bills QB coach during the 1992 to 1996 seasons, with Jim Kelly leading the team to 2 Super Bowls during his time with the Buffalo Bills. As you can see him there with Marv Levy, he was part of those teams that made it to the Super Bowls. So, again, condolences to him and his family. Well, not to him, to his family, to Bill's family, and all his friends and family, so forth. Condolences out to them all. Moving on over here to the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to throw this up there. Bam. The NFL Network will air every Bills preseason game this year. Can't wait for that. Usually a lot of times I don't get to see them. But now I'll be able to watch them either when I'm at work or at home. At least this year, I'll get to watch the Bills preseason games, as so will you. Now, another big thing here, I ended up seeing the slate today. Thought it was pretty cool. Josh Allen, second MVP in the runnings. Should have won it. First player in NFL history to have a single season with 4,500 passing yards, 35 plus TDs, and 5 plus rushing touchdowns. I was kind of surprised. Like, he's the first player in NFL history to do this, especially with Mahomes, with Rodgers, these guys, who run the ball. You had Randall Cunningham might have not thrown for 35 passing touchdowns, but probably rushed for 5. And Michael Vick, he was putting up crazy numbers. So to me, it was pretty cool to see this. The big thing for Josh, again, this is all tacking on to what he's going to end up getting paid later on. Later on, this boy is going to be breaking the bank. breaking the bank. Now, here we go. This guy talking about Pittsburgh Steelers losing guy being a free agent. Free agent quarterback Steven Nelson tweeted out on Tuesday, today or tomorrow. Had a lot of people think he was going to get signed either on Tuesday or Wednesday. Neither one happened. Uh, the Bills were mentioned that they were looking at him and that they were thinking of probably signing him. Maybe they offered him a sheet, but maybe, he didn't take it. Who knows? Like, there is still a chance that they will sign him, but probably at the right price. Personally, like everybody knows who watches the show, I'm happy with Levi Wallace. Love Dane Jackson, the way he's been stepping up. You got Jermaine Johnson, who's pretty much our nickel back, but hey, maybe he could slide over. There's going to be competition on the opposite side with Tre'Davious White. Now, does this guy come in and sign a contract to be with the Bills? I mean, if I'm trying to win a Super Bowl, I'm going to go to somebody, even if I'm taking a little less money, who has a chance of winning something. I'd rather play to win a championship than just get straight paid. But again, who knows what he's thinking? But again, there's a chance this guy, number 22, was on Pittsburgh Steelers, Nelson, could be jumping up. Now, the other day, I was looking through tweets, and I saw somebody post about Gabriel Davis. Can't remember his name offhand right now, saying that his question was, can you see Gabriel Davis being more than a number 2 wide receiver? He actually said Davis would never be a number 2 in his whole career. So he doesn't think he would be better than a number 2. Personally, I think the guy's a little crazy. I think Jalen would be a number 1 at some point, if not definitely a number 2. The reason he's not a number 2 on the Bills is because we ended up signing Emmanuel Sanders. Besides that, this guy would have slid right into our number 2 spot. So I don't know what they're talking about. Gabriel Davis is a number 3. Oh, yeah, he's a number 3 right now. The guy said he'll never be a number 2, better than a number 2. And I think that's crazy. Dragon brother, that's right. First of all, did you not see these big plays this kid made during the playoffs? He was one of the biggest spots coming up. He was looking great. And the reason he wasn't getting as many because John Brown was there, and he pretty much replaced John Brown when John Brown was gone. So I don't know what this guy's talking about. Cole Beasley's the main slot guy. Well, we'll see if that continues to be. But Beasley is the main slot guy. He's not going nowhere unless the whole COVID crap bites him in the butt. I think Davis will be our number 2 next year, especially if they don't re-sign Emmanuel Sanders. Because Emmanuel Sanders, Doug Marrone. Yeah, Doug Marrone had a Woody for this guy. He wanted him. He's on here now. Oh, by the way, I didn't see it for some reason. It didn't come up here. But this is our buddy Tom Casey. I haven't heard from you in a long time, Tom. I was surprised. It's been a while. Listen, if Emmanuel Sanders is not on this team next year, Gabriel Davis will be our number 2 wide receiver. No ifs, ands, buts about it, unless they go out there and pick up another guy. This kid will be our number 2. And if something happens to Cole this year, I think Emmanuel Sanders will slide into the slot. Davis will be our number 2. That's me. That's what I see. If you don't like it, post a comment. Join Tom. Welcome back, Tom. All right. Other news, moving on here. Spencer Brown. Bam. Finally. The Bills have finally wrapped up signing their rookie signings by signing their 3rd-round pick, Spencer Brown, to a 4-year deal. It's about time this gets done. I don't know what was going. I guess they were just arguing about a little bit of cash here, a little bit of cash there, but it finally gets done. Hey, Tom, by the way, what do you think about the whole vaccination stuff? Leave me a comment. Put it out there. Uh, Spencer Brown. Everybody saw him jump through a table when he was drafted. Gotta love the guy. Problem is, man, there's a lot of depth on that Bills offensive line. Let's see if he makes the squad. But yeah, definitely on the practice squad. Let's see if he makes it onto the 53-man roster. The only good thing this year, due to the whole COVID thing, is that these guys are going to have more shots. There's more spots on the practice squad, and you get to protect a lot of these players, so they're not going to be all plucked off your team. Uh, Tom, the vax stuff is going to make things difficult this season. Yeah, but the way it looks, they're going to be forcing these guys to get it, even though they're saying they're not forcing them to get it. They pretty much are forcing the team's hands, force these guys to get these vaccines. Listen, I didn't want to get the vaccine. I got it because my jobs forced me to get it. Pretty much they've laid off people already who haven't wanted to get it. I don't know how this works. It's kind of crazy to me. If it was a cure, yes. It's not a cure. Again, my opinion, my life, whatever. I got the stupid vaccine. Hopefully it does what it's supposed to. Moving on. This guy. Hey, by the way, Tom, do you think your team's going to overtake the East? I know you're probably going to say yes. I might not agree with it, but let's just say I think I know where you're going to go. The Bills also, go through my notes here. Anyway, talking about this COVID thing, let me throw this man back up here. Went from crazy last week. People loved this guy last year, playing with a broken leg through the playoffs, to hating him now because he has an opinion and he doesn't want to get the shot. So people are dragging him through the mud. Hey, this is America. You're supposed to have freedom of speech and freedom of choice. People are trolling this guy. There's a few guys that agree with him. But man, you went from loved to hated just because of a shot. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And by the way, he ended up staying away from Twitter for a while because he didn't want to be a distraction. Then Michael Irvin goes out and tweets, if you're unvaccinated, that means you don't want to win badly enough. Michael Irvin, you're a freaking clown. What kind of comment is that? You want to play, you just don't want to take a vaccine. There's a lot of players out there who don't want to take the vaccine. So now, are you telling DeAndre Hopkins, who said he might not get it, that he doesn't want to win badly enough? Are you going to tell all these other players that they don't want to win badly enough because they have questions about their health with this stuff? Come on, man. Stop being a clown, Michael. There's no reason for it. But now you have people trying to say, yeah, is he trying to get cut because he's voicing his opinion again? I don't think so. And if that's what it takes for you, you can't have a voice to voice your opinion. You're going to get cut for that. That makes no sense. Where the hell do we live? That's what's going to happen. You're going to get fired just for voicing your opinion on your own health. Makes no sense to me. No sense. Moving on. Mr. Nazir, where was he? Nazir Jones was signed by the Bills, and he's not even making it to training camp. Bills have released Nazir. His numbers, not too great. 2 sacks, 4 tackles, 1 interception. I believe he had about 4 tackles for losses, something like that. He'll probably find a spot somewhere, try to get some playing time some other where. He would have been a depth place. Didn't think he was going to make the roster anyway, but he gets cut before that. He doesn't even get a chance to shine. He saw enough in practice. Enough in the little practice. He didn't even get to show what he could do. Now moving on over here, Pro Football Focus ranked the Bills' offensive line at 14th in the league. Last year they ranked them 18th. Personally, I think it might be a little higher, and the only reason they aren't ranked higher is because they haven't ran the damn ball. All the Buffalo Bills have done is pass. And I get it. If it's working, don't break it, but you're not going to win a Super Bowl just by passing the ball. Dan Marino could tell you that. Other players could tell you that. or moon. Tell you that. Listen, you need to have a good balance. Yeah, if you want to pass the ball 70% of the time, fine. You got to run the ball at least 30%. You got to get a run game going. These offensive linemen are dying to run block. Feliciano last year, these guys were throwing their hands up when they finally ran like 3, 4 plays and they gained positive yards on the rushing game. They were happy to finally put down their hands and push people down, get to that run blocking. I think this will jump up if the Bills start running the ball more. Stop just being straight pass happy. Can't be one dimensional in this league to win. Now, the Bills' offensive line had a little scare this week when Mitch Morse sent out a tweet. He had everybody think he was going to retire. He put out like there saying, it almost looked the picture saying, oh, after 7 years or blah, 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 blah. If you looked at it real quick, you thought poor Mitch Morse was retiring and we were going to lose our starting center. Good thing he's not retiring, and Feliciano doesn't have to move over to center yet. The one good thing about this Bills offensive line, too, is that we have everybody coming back. The Bills' whole offensive line is coming back. They got some more depth with the young kids they drafted. Uh, the guys they re-signed to at least 1 year contracts. This offensive line should just get better. They're together again for another year. Williams re-signed. Feliciano's coming back. All these guys re-signed. Everybody wants to get the job done. The big problem to me is staying healthy. These guys must stay healthy. We need them to run block, to get better, and to stay healthy. Now, another thing they ended up going on, I'll just throw this on up here, is that the Bills' defensive line, Pro Football Focus, also has the Bills' D line ranked at 17th. They are moving up from 20th last year. 17th is not a bad ranking. The Bills before last year were top 5 defense. I believe they were ranked 3rd in the league. But last year they could not stop the run. They had the problem, the issue, trying to stop the run. They couldn't get the run done. Hopefully Star Latulier coming back this year will help that out. Maybe these rookies could help. Maybe the Bills' Leslie Frazier will open his eyes and start running more of a 4-3 or, I don't know, some kind of a quarter defense where you're going to run 4 linebackers. They got to do something. They cannot go running a nickel defense and trying to stop the run. There's too much pressure on Tremaine, too much pressure on Matt Milano to cover and also come up for the run. Listen, Milano and A.J. Klein, to me, those guys are nasty. You got a lot of speed. Tremaine Edmonds in the middle, good run blocker. Run stopper. Just play your defense, dude. Adjust to who you're playing. If they're running 4 wide receivers, then okay, I see that. But if you're playing somebody like the Baltimore Ravens, you need to step up. You need to play hard-nosed football 4-3. If you're playing 4 or 5 wide receiver set, then yeah, jump out to the nickel, jump out to the dime, jump out to the quarter defense, do some kind of hybrid. Nickel every down is not going to get it done. You need to play the 4-3 against some of these teams that like to run the ball. Tennessee, even though they might switch it up this year because they got Julio Jones, they're going to run the ball. You're going to have to run a 4-3. Can't do that. Come on, clowns. Let's get this stuff going. Now for the Buffalo Bills, I'm going to throw up here this again. Bam. Touchdowns wires Mike Schofield has the Bills powered rankings overall. Power rankings have the Bills at 3rd overall. Offense and defense, power ranked at 3rd. I like it. If we're going to look at the the AFC East, he had the Dolphins 9th overall, which is kind of surprising to me. He has Tom Casey's Pats 20th and the Jets 28th at a power rankings. I don't think this is right. Listen, the Dolphins got better, yes. My question with them is Tua. Honestly, you're telling me that Tua and the Dolphins are better off than Tom's Pats? I think I would have the Pats higher than the Dolphins. The Dolphins, to me, they have to prove Yes, they made it to the playoffs last year. They played better, but guess what? Fitz Magic was there to help them out a bunch of the times. When this kid was struggling, they brought Fitz in. Fitz brought him back a few times, helped them win the games. There's no Fitz this year. Not even sure who their backup is, but it doesn't matter. His nickname's not Magic. So the Pats to me should be higher than this. I would actually switch. Well, I would probably have the Dolphins top 15, maybe, just because they made the playoffs. But again, I want to see what Tua could do. Tua hasn't really proved me anything. I would put the Pats better than 20th. Pats are going to be playoff bound. I think the Pats are going to be the team to push the Bills again, try to reclaim the AFC East. If anybody's going to do it in the AFC East, I think it will be the Pats. Now, to have them at 20th, that's a little disrespectful. They get their guys back. Most of the guys, except for Chung, who chose to, I believe, retire, they're going to get their guys back. It's kind of crazy. Now, ESPN, they did a full arsenal. So for the overall team arsenal, I guess offense, they ranked the Bills' full offensive arsenal ranked ninth in the NFL. To me, ninth is not bad. We have a little questions on offense. At tight end. Will Dawson Knox take the next step? This is his third year. Are the Bills going to end up trading for Zach Ertz? Zach Ertz is on that squad. We might be top five. And again, one of the reasons we're at ninth is because we're not running the ball. Nobody, listen, they had the Bills trying to go get a running back. Nobody knows what they have. Listen, Singletary could get the job done. He's not an every down back in my eyes. He's more of a second and third down back, maybe two down back. Zach Moss, he's a beast. I think he could be an every down back. Show to have good hands. Now you add Matt Breida. Matt Breida has the speed. He could catch. Is he going to be our every down back? I don't think so. But, you throw A.J. Williams in there. Antonio Williams in there. I like the kid. I think you have good backs. You just have to run the ball. Problem is, they have so much success with the pass, they just put the run on the side. We need to run play action pass. We need to do quick slants. We need to run two backs. Use Gillian as a fullback or tight end. Either way, they need to have some blocking there. You got to see also which tight end is going to step up in the blocking. Hollister, will he do it? Is Gillian going to take that next step to push in the block? We need to open up the holes for these guys. Offensive line, more than willing to get the job done. So that's what we're looking at. Ranked ninth, could be higher. I got a guest coming on to the show, making a surprise visit here. All I'm looking for is a thumbs up. I'll put him out here. Well, he's got to take the place of this guy. Where is it at? Hold on. Oh, I can't even find it right now. I'm looking like this little guy in spirit. But let's see who we got. You good? You ready? You ready? Thumbs up. Thumbs up. What's it? Kaboom!
What's
Whoa!
up, man?
What's up, Vinny?
Better late than never, bro. Better late than ever, man. I'm
Hell,
sorry, man.
hell yeah. Better late
Hey,
than never.
real
Yeah.
quick, I know you're in the middle of something, but I want to get this done before it gets hot. I just
Oh,
got
go
home from
ahead.
work. Didn't eat no dinner. I'm on an empty stomach, but I'm gonna try one. It's a Guinness Stout.
Oh,
A Guinness
Guinness.
Stout drought. I don't know. I'm not
Good.
too much of a dark beer guy, but let me see. One. My dog's gonna start barking because this is man.
You don't like Guinness?
No, ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing worse than coming home to a shitty beer. I
What? That's a little
don't like it.
disrespectful. Guinness is like a classic.
I don't like it.
No,
I mean, I've
I
had,
like
I've
Guinness.
had. Oh man, I don't know. 3.5, bro. I'm not a stout guy. I don't like
But
Yingling. I don't like none of that stuff, man.
that's pretty good. Well, Yinglin's not as heavy as that. That's pretty good for the beer you don't like. By the way, I know you were driving, but this was my beer.
Correct.
Current mood. I saw it. It's a 4-pack, 6% alcohol. Comes in pint cans, 4 cans of a pack. Kind of
Couldn't go wrong
pricey.
with it. You just try. Was it good?
It's not bad. I gave it 3.5. 3.5.
I got a 3.5 in this one too. I mean, it ain't bad. You know what it is? Going down is pretty good. It's just I'm not too fond of like the bitter aftertaste it has. You know what I'm saying? But going down, it
Yeah.
goes down pretty good. So 3.5. Sorry, I missed half 3/4 of the show, but try to get in here as fast as I could, bro. I didn't
Listen,
want to leave
man.
you hanging, man.
I'm surprised I made it to 40 minutes on my own. I was trying to drag it out. Tom Casey came back. It's been a while. So he finally joined the show again.
That's what's
So
up.
it helped out a little. I could go over some crap with you real quick. I was just talking about how ESPN had that overall full offensive ranking for the Arsenal. They had us at ninth. I said,
Ninth.
yeah, you don't like it?
How they gonna have us in ninth? We got almost the offensive MVP, arguably the offensive MVP of last year, and the number one wide receiver in receiving yards. How are we gonna? I mean, we should at least be in the top five, man. Come on, ninth. That's kind of like, hopefully that they use that as motivation because man, that's to me that's kind of slapping in the face. You got the runner up for MVP, and you got the number one receiver in the NFL, and you're
Yeah,
still
but
ranked ninth. You know,
that's the thing. I mean, after that, okay, I think it's more because we haven't ran the ball. I
yeah,
think it also is because the question at tight end. All right, is Dawson Knox finally going to take the next step in his third year or whatever it is? I think if we had Zach Ertz, we'd probably be top five. And
yeah.
I think it comes down to the running game.
I I was hoping for Zach Ertz, but I'm reading some stuff that he might stay another year over there in Philly. He might make. I don't know if you read any of that. That he might come to camp to practice starting next week. I guess the training camp that he's set to start training camp with them. So I was hoping for it to get him, but we'll see what happens. I would have liked to got him before training camp to get acclimated to the system and stuff. But we'll see how it goes down. But as of right now, it don't look too good. So Dawson Knox, you better step it up so we can at least get in the top damn five offense because it's because of you and the running game we in the ninth place.
I think it's more running game.
Yeah,
Also, we
more
talked.
running.
I just hit on before. Touchdown wires. Mark Schofield has the power rankings. The Bills were actually third overall in his power rankings. Going in the AFC East, they had the Dolphins at ninth. They had the Pats at 20th and the Jets at 28th. I thought
I think the
Dolphins
Pats are
might
coming
be.
up.
I think the Dolphins might be a little too high. Should probably be a little
Yeah,
lower with the whole Tua question. And the
and the
Pats,
Pats coming up.
yeah, 20th.
Absolutely,
It's
I agree
kind of
with you.
rough.
I think they should be in the like maybe the top 10. Be honest with you, with all the acquisitions they got with the tight ends and all the offensive weapons they got for Cam. Maybe Cam, I don't know, but the offensive weapons they got at wide receiver and tight end. There, man, I would have thought they catapulted at least in the top 10.
Well, I don't know a top 10, but at least top 15, maybe. I
Yeah,
think it was
yeah,
kind of rough.
okay. I'll I'll give it a little bit of a wider. Uh, yeah.
it'd,
I'll let
it'd,
him. I'll give him some slack.
it'd be a nicer. It'd be a nice. What
Yeah,
else? Before that, I hit Pro Football Focus. They had the Bills defensive line ranked 17th, up from 20th from last year. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, we couldn't really. There was some games we couldn't stop the run. So, uh,
That's
you
that's what
know,
I said.
we'll
I
see
mean,
how a star comes in at defensive tackling and stuff's to hold up. Let's see how he does. Let's see how these two new defensive ends fare out and see how AJ Epinesa comes along. And if we keep doing what we did last year in terms of alternating and back and forth with the D linemen, and I think would be a lot better than last year for sure, with Star Lotulelli included in that
yeah,
equation.
true, true. They also had our same people had our offensive line ranked 14th. Last year they were ranked 18th. This year we're 14th. I said, I think
And
we're
better.
14th because we haven't ran the ball. We're just one
Yeah.
dimensional.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about 14th with offensive line. I mean, for you to score as many points and as many touchdowns as the Bills did, you got to have a good offensive line. So to be ranked 14th, I think we're in the top 8, to be honest with you, in my opinion, because I mean we put a hell up a lot of points, hell lot of
Yeah.
points. The sacks. Uh, I know it comes down to the quarterback too, but Josh Allen did a whole bunch better than the previous year in terms of sacks. His passing completion come up a whole bunch. His whole rating overall jumped up. I don't know what 10, 12 points from last year, which is
Look at
unheard of.
bam.
So
Look at that. Ooh, to the side.
there you go. Look at that. Look at that. It's like wow, you right on point, homie. 35 and 5, 4,500 pass yards. I mean, you got to have a good offensive line to do that. If you got a shitty line, you're not gonna be able to pass like that. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but you know,
No, it's true.
so I would, you know.
No, go ahead. I just said it's true. Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, I was saying yeah, because like I said, run up MVP, offensive MVP, and number one wide receiver. Listen, if you don't have a line, you're not gonna have time as a quarterback to pass the ball. And it wasn't this little West Coast stuff that we were running. We weren't running that stuff. A lot of his stuff were, deep, middle, deep balls, man. So you had to
Yeah.
have a couple seconds of protection to throw the ball. So I don't agree with that 14th ranking. I think we should be at least in the top 8. Well, what did you say? What did you think?
I just said I think it's because we didn't run the ball. That's why
And when we
we're
did
at
run it, we
where we're
kind of
at.
got stuff. When we
Yeah.
did run it, we kind of got stuff running. So I could see where they can try to use that. But I mean, it was obvious that the Bills were offensive, passing minded team.
Yeah.
So
That's
we'll see. We'll
that's
see how it goes this year.
that's what I was thinking. What else? Real quick over here. Blah blah blah. The Bills cutting Isaiah Jones. I don't know if you saw that. They finally
No, I did
wrapped up
not.
the rookie signings with Spencer Brown jumping through tables. So all our rookies are signed.
Hey,
Did you see
did you
Mitch?
see anything about Cody Ford? Did you have anything on Cody Ford?
No, what happened with Cody Ford?
I don't know. I saw him today on crutches. I don't know if he had
What?
surgery. I didn't. Yeah, yeah. It was on Instagram. Actually on the way over here, I saw him walking on crutches. So I don't. And it said something about being better this year. So I don't know if he had any type of knee surgery or leg surgery that you might have heard of. I'm gonna look into it. And we'll get more info for you guys next week. But he definitely was on crutches in a hospital, and I don't know. I don't know too much about it. So I'll find out. I have more info for you guys. Unless you're looking it up right now, but that's what I
I'm
saw on
trying to
Instagram.
see if I see something here, but I don't see anything on Cody.
Let me
But
see. If,
again,
let me see if I can pull it up. You keep talking.
if it was on Twitter, then maybe. Did you see the whole craziness with new COVID standards, procedures, or whatever?
Yeah, yeah, with the unvaccinated players and stuff
Yeah,
about forfeiting and stuff. That's insane.
crazy.
Mm,
One thing I hit on real quick was there's a guy on Twitter. I forgot who it was. I saw him
okay.
pretty much said that Gabriel Davis will never be more, will never even be a number 2 wide receiver.
Why?
He just didn't think he was good enough to even be a number 2.
But he's
Personally,
already a number 2 as a rookie. He's already could be a number 2 with the Bills. You see those sideline? Did that guy ever see any of them sideline catches he had? Did he
the
ever see
toe
any of
drag.
those toe drag? Yeah. Did you ever see any of the catches in traffic he caught? The way he positions his body, the way his hands are. The dude's solid, man. I'll take him as a number 2 any day.
Well, my statement was this: listen, if it wasn't for Emmanuel Sanders signing on to the team, he would have been our number 2. When John
Absolutely.
Brown when John Brown was out, he slid into our number 2 spot. So I don't know why this guy was talking about. And it was his rookie year. He led. What was it? He led the rookies with 17.1 yards per catch, which was, he led rookies with 50 plus more targets. So the
Mm,
guy was putting in work, and he wasn't
okay.
even starting all the time. He started the, what was it, 6 or 8 games that John Brown was out,
Yep. Yep.
and then
And we
when,
did better. We actually won games without John Brown. I think we won 5 games without him. It was 5 games. And by the way, that thing with Cody Ford is when now I got the gist of it. I thought it was a recent. deal. It was a video of when he actually had surgery last year or the year before, and they did this whole rehab video of him. That's what it was.
Oh,
My
okay.
apologies. I just looked at the video and saw my crutch. I was like, oh, what happened? And then I just rehashed it right now. What it was like a past, uh, past thing when he did get surgery and he rehabbed and showed it all on video. So I take it back, fellas. My bad.
By the way, I didn't know Stevie Johnson's birthday. Happy birthday,
Happy
Stevie.
birthday, Stevie. But
I actually
13.
like Stevie. I
I
was
do
always
too.
hoping he would have come back or he would have stayed a little longer. They traded his butt away. Uh, Also, with the whole, I don't know if you saw it, with the whole COVID thing, the Sean not the Sean Watkins. My God,
From Arizona.
Arizona.
Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald.
Not even Fitzgerald
It
said
wasn't
something
Fitzgerald?
too.
Yeah, I thought it was
No,
Larry Fitzgerald that said something about,
it's
he didn't know
Hopkins,
if he wanted to.
DeAndre Hopkins. That
That's
was
what.
it.
That's what. Okay.
Saying that he was like, "What?"
It's like, I don't want to
And
take it. I don't know about all that.
yeah, and it actually, Stephon Diggs for accountability, availability. That's what he tweeted.
Mm,
Stakes are crazy, man. It's going to be
well,
crazy.
I think a
Let's see
lot of
what
I think a
happens.
lot of more players are going to start coming out.
Especially after that. Especially after saying that, yeah, we're not going to reschedule. Well, we could reschedule your games, but if it doesn't fit within that time frame,
You're done. Hmm.
you're done. And they were
Forfeit.
saying you could possibly lose a playoff game.
Why they didn't do that to the Titans last year with their
the
with their fake practice?
rules are different, I guess, for different teams.
Man, yeah. Because I was like, man, that's going to be an easy win. We're going to whip their butt. Next thing you know, it looked like they've been practicing all week. They put a hurting on us.
They did. They ran the ball. We couldn't stop them.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
ran the ball. They passed the ball. They did whatever they wanted.
I think that's
Quick
why our
thing too.
defensive line was ranked 19th because of that. Because of that game.
What was crazy too, I don't know if you saw it, after, we talked about Tom Brady's injuries and how he played through the Super Bowl injured, they were saying the NFL could possibly go after Tampa Bay and find them
Because of that.
because of the injury. No comment on going after the Pats, but after Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
So
but now if you want to go that route, they could come after the Bills because of what happened with
Beasley.
Cole Beasley's leg. That he was playing with a broken leg too. So
But they did post that he was hurt. They just didn't say he had a broken leg or whatever.
uh, okay,
Because
so
they
they
were
said
saying,
so they said half truth. They said a half a truth
yeah,
then.
you knew he was banged up every game.
Yeah, yeah,
And at one point, I'm like, why are they even having him out there? Go with somebody fully healthy. We
yeah,
didn't know the extent of it because he would go in, run a few plays, then take a few plays out.
yeah.
And now people are saying, hey, is he trying to get cut because of his comments coming back on Twitter talking about COVID? I don't think he's trying to get cut. He's just voicing his opinion. He's not
And,
crapping on anybody or anything. He's not
and there's
talking
nothing wrong
bad.
with that. And there's
Yeah,
nothing
he's
wrong with
just
that, man.
saying his opinion.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, I don't know what else I touched on. See what you want to hear. And then he got fired up after the only thing that caused him to come back was Michael Evans saying, "Hey, if you don't, if you're not vaccinated, that means you don't want to win badly enough." And that probably just lit a fire on his
Yeah.
butt too because he played in Dallas
With
also.
a broken leg. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he played with a broken leg. He was one of the best wide receivers in Dallas. And you're gonna come and say that crap that he doesn't want it
That's why
hard
that's why
enough.
a lot of people are probably gonna come out not only in his defense, but there's a lot of players that probably think the same and
Oh
just
yeah,
pretty much seeing the flack that Beasley's getting, they're kind of like scared to voice their opinion. But with all this stuff going on with Beasley, they're like, you know what, I might as well just say it since it's a hot topic. And I
yeah.
mean, 99.9% of the NFL can't agree on the vaccinations. There's got to be a percentage to where people don't agree with it and want to voice their opinion. They're just scared, and now they're going to start coming out. So things are going to have to change.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people aren't saying it, and now
Yep.
that they're putting it as bold as they are, they're like, "Damn, I guess we should say something." And
They
if you
better
look
say
around,
something. Yeah.
man, look around the world, everybody's saying something. France is
Uh huh.
saying something. England's saying something.
Hmm.
Uh,
For sure.
Iran saying something. All these countries are stepping up. Look at France told the people that if you don't get vaccinated by August 1st, you can't go to a supermarket.
Mm,
Kind of
wow.
craziness is that? Crazy. I don't know if you saw this. If you're on Twitter,
Uber Eats. Uber Eats. But go ahead.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you see the I guess the daughter who was showing video or images of Viking players? This is for my buddy out there, our buddy uh
Kirk
Kirk
Cousins.
Cousins. Yeah, you didn't see this?
No, no,
So,
no.
so the mother's up there looking at the players. She's like, "Oh my God, I can't. I don't know what these guys look like. I'm so used to seeing them in with helmets." So they go down a player. Oh, that's Delvin Cook. Oh, that's that guy. Oh my God, he's so cute. Oh, that's Thielen. Oh, that's Jefferson, the new guy. I didn't know he looked like that. Blah blah blah. And they get to Kirk Cousins, and they're like, "Ah, I know who he is. He's the one who loses us the damn games all the time. Get his ass off of the picture. Get him off."
That's funny. That's funny.
She
I gotta
said,
see that. I gotta see
he
that.
loses every game. Get his MF off the screen. No respect for our buddy Kirk Cousins. Listen, our hour is up. Thanks for jumping in for the last at least
Man,
15 minutes, bro.
I
Shows,
was speeding, man.
I gotta say this
Better
though.
late than never.
Shows are really hard without you, and
I
what
couldn't
people
do it
don't
without you.
know, people
Uh-huh.
don't know half the time I just put crap together the day before or the day of. I never tell Vinny half the time what we're talking about unless we got a lot of stuff going on, and we just make the show flow. And it's so
Yeah,
much
man.
easier with both of us. It's so much easier when people chime in. So I
I
thank
told you. I
everybody.
told you. I told you. I'm the Robin to you, Batman.
Yeah, all right. We in trouble. As always,
It's all
hey
good.
guys, follow us on Twitter at Viva Los Bills, Facebook, join our group, Viva Los Bills, Viva Los Bills on YouTube. Join us. Everybody out there in Blackjack Network, Zingo, Facebook. Thanks for watching. As always, look at it, we get to see Vinny make that gas face for Guinness. I like Guinness. I used to
I thought
drink a
you. I
Guinness.
thought.
I
I
used to
thought. You
drink
know.
a
You called
Guinness.
me. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I said. I thought you had the Viva Los Bills poster up, and I was just looking. I didn't know I was on camera.
I used to drink Guinness, or what was the name? Haddingtons, when I used to work out.
Huh?
So
Okay.
in my basement. By the
What
way,
did it do? Get you drunk while you work out? Is that what it is?
it was just carbs. I don't know. I used to drink it,
I got you.
carbs, whatever. By the way, Steven's going to tell us who we were watching.
Okay, Giancarlo. Wepa, you're watching Viva Los Bills.
Hey, you were watching Viva Los Bills because the show is over. Thanks for everybody watching, chiming in. Hey, listen, we're going to have stuff to talk about because camp starts next Wednesday. So we'll at least
That's
talk
right.
about the first day of camp.
First day.
Everybody out there, adios, nos vemos. Stay woke, love, peace out, happiness, whatever. Nos
Peace.
vemos. Ciao. Ciao.